Welcome back to Gilbert's Repairs. Today we're going to fit this tow bar to this 2012 Citroen C3 Picasso. Right, let's get on with it. Right, so here's the part number, look. It's a Witter tow bar and it's a C46A. And that fits the 2012 Citroen C3 Picasso. I'm going to spray it over there with a bit of satin black. But what comes with the kit, look, you get the main tow bar that goes across the back of the car, the ball, a cover. These must be a couple of plates that go on the end. The fixing kit, instructions there for the electrics, and instructions there of how to fit the tow bar itself. But all I'm going to do today is give this a sand down and a spray paint. All I'm going to do with this 100 grit, quite fine sandpaper, I'm just going to give it a key. I'm just going to key up every surface in order to give it a little spray paint. So I'll put it on time lapse and then we'll get to the spraying. So I'm just giving it a wipe down with some pre-paint wipe, some degreaser. We'll get rid of all the paint, ready for we'll get rid of all the dust, sorry, ready for some new paint to go on. Alright, so we're just going to put it on a bit of satin black, just a light coat. So now we've got a nice coat of paint on there. I'll do another couple of coats off camera and then we'll fit the tow bar tomorrow. I've pre-assembled the tow bar so you can know what to expect. This is it pre-assembled. I've used some of the bolts. The rest of those bolts are to attach it to the car. So that's the arrangement that you want there. Look, those end plates go on there and that bracket on there. And then obviously the tow ball. And the same there with that bracket. Goes on the end. So you've got the end plate there and this piece of angle iron there. We're under the back of the car now and you can see there's a rear chassis rail there and there's a cover there, look, a piece of tape and a rubber bung there, but there's also some tape around there. I may take this arch liner off, so it's better to show you, but you don't need to do that for the job. So the end plates mount up here and then the bar goes right across the back of the car to the other chassis rail up there. This one looks a bit more tight access to get to. You can see that rubber grommet in the center of the shop now. So I've taken off the wheel and I've taken off the plastic arch liner that goes here. You don't need to do this to fit this tow bar. I've done it to get a camera angle. I cannot get the camera in to show you easily. So what you have to do here is peel off this tape, and this hides the factory holes that are pre-done. There's two. I don't know which one it goes in. I'm gonna put it I don't know where it goes. This is what you've got to fit in. So these are captive nuts. If you look in there, it's threaded. So all we're doing basically is tucking. We're tucking them in there and we're just tucking a nut in behind. you can see I've got the other one in there, the way it works. I'll do a close-up now. I'll do a close-up of this one. So what you're doing is you're getting that, and you're feeding it in. You're basically feeding it in, and it's going to lay like that in behind the bodywork. So we're going to tuck it in, spin it around, and then we're pushing it. So we're going as far as we can that way. And we push that spring in there. And then we're coming back with it that way now. So we're just going to push it. And then push it in. And there. So now we get our bolt. And all it's done is put a threaded section in there. So I'm going to wiggle that around. Make sure it's fully in there. Give it a good tug around. So that's all we've done. We've basically attached a nut to the inside of this chassis rail so that we can then screw this in. The tow bar can be screwed up to there. Right, I hope that's clearer. On the underside of that chassis rail, we've just put those captive nuts in there on the outside. So you just drop around under, and there's a bit of tape there. And that's hiding a captive nut in the chassis rail there. I think that rubber stopper stays there, that bung, you leave that there. I'm going to get a bit of copper slip, and I'm going to put it in there before we put any brackets up. Just want a finger of grease, and we'll stick it up in that hole there. You can't beat a bit of grease in the hole. So we greased them up. I'm going to do the same around the outside, and then we'll put the bracket up. All right, so I'd highly recommend you smear a bit of grease in these threads, because it will aid removal in the future if anyone ever wants to get this tow bar off. So we just put a bit of grease in there. And I'm just going to grease where it attaches to the car. So now we've got one of the end plates that we've seen on the parts. So we put it with these scallop pieces, the little steps there, out towards the rear of the car. And then we just catch one of the bolts. I've got plenty of grease on that as well. So we just catch them in those threaded inserts that we've done earlier. And we spin him up. And we catch that one. I'm going to leave all this finger tight until I've got everything caught, the whole thing, the tow bar, the whole lot. Because look, you've got a little bit of wiggle room. So if we want to adjust it level on the back of the car or something, we can. So we'll just leave it like that for the minute. And then we'll go and do the same on the other side. I didn't go over to the other side. I thought I'd finish this bracket first. You've got this angle, and it's longer on that aspect than it is on that one. So you have the shorter one up high onto the chassis, and the longer one dropping down to get that alignment. So what we do, get our bolt, and then we bolt him up. Just put him up in there. Just catch him initially. And then we get our nut and bolt, and we pass it through from the other side. So we've got a nut and bolt there, look. And we pass it through from the other side. And in there. And on this one, we've got a flat washer, and then a spring, not a spring washer, a serrated washer. So that's your anti-vibration. And then we just catch a nut on there. I don't know if you can see the camera angle. So we just catch it all up loose. Right, so it's all just an ish to start with. So we've still got wiggle on that bracket, look. So we've still got movement. Right, so now I'll go to the other side and repeat the process. Right, so we've done that side over by the exhaust. That's the awkward one. Then we come over the other side of the car, and then we've got the other chassis rail there. You can see that cap there, and if I can get you around there, you can see the tape up there. So I'll peel that off now. I'm not sure what sort of camera angle I'm going to be able to achieve for you, because I've got this the bumper in the way where I want the camera. Right. I'm not sure what kind of view I've got for you there. And some lighting. I'm unsure. So I've got you propped up inside the bumper. So we'll peel that back. If you can see, I don't know. And then we get these and we feed them in like that. No, wrong way. So it's that way. Much more difficult not to be able to see. So we feed them in. There. And then back on itself. I don't know if that lines up. I'll just get a bolt. Now we'll try the other one, and we feed him in like that. I'm unsure if you can see any of this. And we slide him back on himself. That one went better, I think, than the other one. This one, it's got the fuel pipe there. It's got a shorter bolt. That was the one on the parts list, the one that was 30mm, not 35. Yeah, so he's going in, look. Let's see if that other one goes in. It didn't feel right. I can't see anything. Oh yeah, he is going in. So I have got him. So we'll do the same with this. We'll put a bit of grease in those threads before we put that bracket on. And I'm going to smear it all around where the plate touches. Right, so we've got our plate up. We put the long bolt in there. The long bolt goes there first. If I can find the hole. Where's the hole? Oh, he's out there. So that's him hung. And then we've got the shorter bolt here. This one's a 30. I think all the others are 35, but this one's a 30 to accommodate the pipe, the petrol pipe. Right. I'm unsure what you've seen there with the camera angle. I'll have a look when I'm editing. But look there. So up there, that one is the 30mm because he won't clear this this fuel canister. So it's a 30mm there, and then out here it's a normal length 35mm. Right, so we can put that bracket on now. Around the other side, we'll tear off that. A bit shaky footage, but we'll put that little bit of angle up now. It was the short side at the top, the long side facing down. So we get our grease bolt, put him up there. And then just with your normal nut and bolt now through there. So on this assembly, you've got a bolt with a flat washer coming through, and then another flat washer, a serrated washer, and then your plain nut. Again, we'll just leave all this so we've got movement on it to catch the beam going across the back of the car. Just thought I'd show you what the layout should look like at this point. you've got the end plate there that goes up the side of the chassis rail, and then you've got this strengthening or stabilizing bit of angle iron there, and then these two holes here, they are literally where the tow bar bolts to and comes along the back of the car. So our next job is to undo that one and undo that one, and so that we can flex the bumper out of the way to get the bar up in. Right, it's just these two Torx. They're T30s. So just get your T30 on there. I noticed this, look. That's my rattle. I've had a rattle on the back end. So this now enables you to grab the bumper and prise it out in order to feed your tow bar up across the back of the car. So hopefully it can get enough flex. Well, I think I've got you at a camera angle where you can sort of get an overview of what I'm going to feed it up like. I'm going to try and feed it up in behind the exhaust first, because I think that's the most awkward one to get it in. So I'm going to try and go up behind there first, feed it up behind the exhaust, and then lift it up here. So we'll give that a go. I think I'm going to scratch off all my new paint. Right, so I'm going to try and feed it up behind the exhaust. So looks like I've got to put it up there and then feed up over the top of the exhaust. So put it in there. Yeah, that's it. That's him. So he's close up there, and then the same here, we'll pull him out. And we'll feed him up. There's two. Right, I'm struggling here. So there's not enough width. So it's a good job I left these loose. So I'm just winding out those side ones on the chassis. I'm out of breath. Just to give me a bit more leeway to get it up. There it goes. Right. He's up in place. I'm going to have a little breather. Shouldn't have had to pass these. They're coming back on me now. Okay, so I'm just going to make it safe. I'm going to hook a bolt in there. Now coming over the other side. And I'm just going to hook a bolt in there. Right, so he's hanging now. Taking the weight from me. There he goes. Right, we're safe. Yeah, it looks okay, doesn't it? It does tucks around all right. Right, I'm gonna have a breather, have a cup of tea, and then I'll bring you back and show you inside here what we've just done. There's two tangs there you need to know about. They were in the way. All right, I'm back, and here's these tangs I was saying about. Look, it's what they connect to. They ended up bending down out of the way. So I'd recommend, but they can bend back up. Like they're only thin plate. They're nothing special, but they've got to be up there for the bumper to connect to, sort of thing. So they did bend down out of the way to allow the bumper up through. Something you may need to know about. And up here, let's get the light. Right up here, I slackened off those two bolts there to allow that plate to go out towards the outside of the car to allow that in. So we've got a bit of movement on there. So now I'm just going to start doing everything up. I'll catch the flats of springs and the plain nuts on there. We'll start bolting everything up. And I'm going to leave these two till last, this side and the other side, so that in case I need to get any adjustment out the back of the car. Right, they're all creamed up tight now. All you need to know, these 10 mils, the 10 mil threads, there's 17 head, so you need a 17 socket or spanner. And the 12 mils are 19 head, so you need a 19 mil spanner or socket. They're all creamed up tight. The ones on the outside up here, they are 17 mils as well. So those two up here are 17s, that's a 17, and all these are 19s. Yeah, I'm on the side now where I took the wheel arch liner out. So you can see there, these top ones, 17 mil head, and these are 19s down here. Just the last bit now, it's a 24 mil spanner to do up those. You've got the bolt there with no washer, and all you've got is the serrated washer there. No plain washer at all. So just cream them up nice and tight. Right, I think that went pretty well, pretty straightforward. Remember, you don't need to take that wheel off on the arch liner like I did. It was purely to get a camera angle so we could see how those nutserts went in, those threaded inserts. Pretty straightforward task. Remember, those end plates on the chassis rails, leave them loose so that you can flare them out in order to get the rear beam in, the actual tow bar beam across the back of the car. And then just nip everything up tight. Went well. The kit was, I think, £135 off of eBay, including delivery. It's a Witter kit, decent brand, and it comes with the electrics as well. So next week, I will try and fit the electrics onto here, and that'll be in a video, in a link here now. It should appear here, and that'll be next week's video. So if you found this video useful and it's been informative to you today, could you please like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you next time.